Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of the Completionist Remastered. So this week's episode is God of War. Let's get some fun facts out of the way. 50 gigs of data was recorded for the entire process of this review. Several hours worth. Thinking about it now, the game is actually much harder than I played it out to be. I think that I wanted to seem much more invincible in the early days of Season 2, but then this also is one of the new episodes of Season 2 where you get new segments like The Struggle, which is one of my favorite segments of the show that we added. You'll notice my head is shaved. That is for the fact that we won King of the Web, which was a little internet popularity contest that gave you money if you campaigned to win. We won $5,000, which helped us get better lights and sound for the show. But we didn't use all that money for the show. We actually donated half of it to charity for Alzheimer's awareness for my mother. We also had a issue being flagged, just like the other episodes have. This one's issue is with the very last section of this music of the episode, which is for Dead Space, something from Dead Space 1, which is next week's episode if you're watching this in order. And with that, it's funny because we didn't get flagged for Dead Space 1, only for God of War, which is kind of weird. Around this time, we got a lot of questions about our thumbnails and what they meant, so I'm going to briefly explain it as best I can. Blue means I completed the game already in my lifetime at one point, 100%, so I'm very familiar with the game. Purple means I just opened the game right before I started recording footage, so I know nothing about the game. I dive right into it and hope that I do really well, and then obviously at that point I do research and go back and complete it. Green or teal is more for the collector's editions, or like, you know, I don't know how to describe it, like All-Stars pack, if you will, so Mario All-Stars, the Zelda Collection pack, that kind of stuff. Gold is just for Final Fantasy VII month, just because I wanted to try and keep that all in unison, and gold is my favorite color, so kind of cool, you know, collector specials. You get the point. And red's for the final episode of 100 Sonic 06, as well as the little video we made for t-shirts and stuff, which isn't very often. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. See you guys next week. I'm still playing Shovel Knight. I know, I'm still playing it. It's still good, guys. It hasn't changed. I'm not even getting paid to say this. Pandora's box. Okay. Should I open it? Or should I leave it alone? Open it? Or leave it alone? I'm gonna play God of War, so I should... What do I do?
Open the box, Alderman.
Is that a Mario statue? Mario, what are you doing here in my bathroom? And what are you supposed to be, in Lawn Gnome or something? What is this?
This is just a statue. I am speaking from a far-off realm.
Okay, I buy that. Mario of Luigi, brothers of brothers, plumbers of plumbers, mustaches of mustaches. What's in this box? What do I do? Should I open the box? I don't know if it's Tuesday or not. What do I do?
You will know your fate once you open the box.
Alright, if you insist, I will open this box. But before I do, quick question. First off, huge fan. Doki Doki Panic. Now, what was up with that? I mean, that's just bloody...
Open the box.
Okay. I'll open the box. Push over Jesus. What? No! Ares! Yes!
God of War of the Worlds of Warcraft 3: The Frozen Throne.
Welcome to a brand new episode of The Completionist. And today, guys, is a very special episode because, yes, not only is it episode 2 of the King of the Web Baldwin month, but it's also a game I've never played before. That's right, I have never played this game before. It's a blind review, so let's see how this all works out. I hope to Athena that this game lives to the hype. God of War, dubbed to be one of the most revolutionary games of its time. I have no idea what to expect, but already I'm getting excited at the idea of killing guys while looking badass as that dude.
But King Baldwin, how could you not have played God of War?
That's the only question you have to ask me?
How could you not have played God of War yet?
I really think...
Play it already, damn it!
Okay, fine.
Even I played it!
Long ago, in times where gods and mythological creatures existed, lived one of the world's most brutal warriors named Kratos. One of the generals of Sparta, Kratos and his fine army would go up against the toughest of enemies and slaughter them. That is, until one day Kratos fought a horde of barbarians that were just too much for him to handle. Moments before he would lose this battle, he would call upon Ares, the god of war.
Ares! He sounds a lot like that flying elephant guy from Durdley Kurg Racing. Ares!
Kratos asks Ares to help him slay his enemy, and in return, he will give his life for servitude. Ares instantly binds Kratos with the Blades of Chaos, and Kratos immediately massacres the barbarian army. And from there, Kratos must live his life murdering on behalf of Ares, the god of war. Until one day, Kratos is tricked into killing his own family. From then on, he no longer desires to work for Ares and wants to rebel. So what are his options? He must kill the god of war.
Aren't the point of gods to be immortal so that they can't die?
Yes. However, a lot of gods have issues with one another, and technically they're not allowed to go to war or kill each other. So the situation gets a little more juicy. Ares decides to destroy Athens to piss off his sister Athena. In which case, Athena tells Kratos that if he kills Ares, she and the other gods will forgive Kratos' sins and release him of his nightmares. Now, how will Kratos kill Ares? He's a god, right? He's immortal. Using Pandora's box. That's right, Pandora's box. Located in the middle of the desert that's located on the back of an old titan who's walking around aimlessly in sandstorms for all eternity.
You okay there, buddy?
Lots of information right there, so let's go ahead and recap.
Kratos wants to end his nightmares by killing the god of war for the other god!
Precisely. For what it's worth, consider me intrigued. From the get-go, we have a badass character who is a bit of an anti-hero who has to go up against the army of Ares. Let's give this a shot. Now, before all the purists come out and throw theoretical internet stones, I am playing this on the PlayStation 3 because, quite frankly, it just looks so wonderful in HD. It just shines pure genius. Some cutscenes have been updated, and the general game's frame rate has been pushed up tremendously, giving that shine and sparkle razzle-dazzle feel for the game.
Razzle and dazzle? What an amazing game!
As I said briefly before, Kratos is essentially living inside of a nightmare where he is forced to continue slaying anyone and everything in his path. The visuals in this game really help portray that feeling. You are usually greeted with nighttime stages where there is a deep gray hue to the entire landscape. It feels bleak, dangerous, and depressing. You do battle on ships, in ancient cities, and even in the underworld. Throughout each level, there are many different zones, ranging from battle arenas where monsters just keep spawning, balancing stages, timed doors, and all type of fun puzzling things. It's all designed really well, and each level has a great flow to it. You really feel like you are making monumental progress each time you make it past a horde of monsters. Since this is the PlayStation 3 version, everything has been streamlined. Because the graphics weren't punched up a huge amount, they were able to get away with insanely amazing frame rates. The game just looks so smooth and clean. The level designs are really cool. I don't even need to say this, but Kratos is an amazing lead character. You can tell that he's been through years and years of consistent battles. Speaking of battles, you take on a plethora of mythical creatures ranging from minotaurs to Medusa's sisters.
Screw those jerks. One hit kills and turns you to stone.
The music! Oh, the music! I'm no fighter in real life, but when I hear that epic music rise up in this game, I feel like I could take on an entire army of undead minions. Giant choirs, huge crescendos, and great orchestration help suck you into this dark and torturous plight that is Kratos. All of the gameplay is tied together with epic cutscenes that draw you even deeper into the storyline. I figured the best way to end this section was to bring up the amazing female voice actor that got to narrate the entire story. The way it is all delivered just makes the plot come to life that much more.
Hey Gerard, I wonder what would happen if we had someone else narrate the story.
Oh really? Like who?
Nico! I'm Nico, the price gouging can. Yow! And so, Kratos went to Athens and give me your money!
No, definitely not him.
How about the Butt Beardman guy? Butt Beardman! Kratos!
I can barely stand that myself, what else you got?
I know! The Colonel from Metal Gear Solid! Remember, Kratos, only you can prevent forest fires.
God of War is a third-person hack-and-slash platformer rock'em sock'em robot of a game that challenges you, the gamer, on several different levels of creativity, fun, and frustration all at the same time. And at other times, it does a great job incorporating wonderful, unique puzzles. You guys know I love simple concepts, and God of War's combat is so simple, it makes me want to go get a pair of Chaos Blades for myself.
I wouldn't want to shake hands with you.
Do it! Shake my hand!
No. Oh, so cool!
The first thing I need to discuss is the opening level. What a fantastic way to grab your attention. You are thrusted onto the high seas on a ship that's being attacked by Poseidon's Hydra. Now, why is this opening level so important? Because you'll learn all the basic needs and goals right away from the start in such a badass way. The first few enemies encountered teach you how to do basic combos and grabs, and within the next room, you are suddenly then attacked by one of the Hydra's heads, which then shows you the usage of QuickTime events. Now, everyone argues a lot whether or not QuickTime events are good or bad for gaming, and God of War was one of the early adapters of this technique, but I for one think that it works fantastically in this game, considering how insanely gruesome a lot of these monsters appear. The QuickTime events are justified, and you'll soon learn that after you yank one of the Hydra's heads directly onto a pike.
Yeah, that's for trying to eat the Kratos!
As you progress throughout all of the atmospheres, you will acquire new and different spells directly from the gods that will aid you on your journey. You will get great skills such as Poseidon's Rage, which is a circle of lightning surrounding Kratos, Medusa's Head, which can turn enemies into stone, Zeus's Fury, which will allow Kratos to throw lightning bolts out of the thin air like a javelin, and the Army of Hades, which will allow Kratos to let out the holy hell that is the Army of Hades. You will also get another weapon called the Blade of Artemis, which I never used.
Oh, poor Artemis.
In the top left-hand corner, you've got your health and magic meter. Defeating the enemies will refill those depending on what difficulty you set the game on. There's also several chests that are placed around the game that have two kinds of items, a magic feather and a Gorgon Eye. If you collect the right amount of each, you can extend both bars 3 times, making your battle to Ares much more doable. Be forewarned, these chests are very well hidden, and you can easily miss these items on your playthrough. You'll notice that there are 3 other chests as well. There's one for health, one for magic, and there's one chest that when you open it, explode with red orbs.
Orgasm!
These are the same orbs that you get when you kill an enemy. The orbs allow you to upgrade all of your skills, which can take a very long time, depending on your abilities. The most important thing I found to upgrade right away was the Blades of Chaos, so you can unlock Spartan's Rage. Spartan's Rage is a near invincibility mode for Kratos. He does tons more damage, attacks faster, and has infinite magic for the time being. Maxing all of your skills, although very beneficial, is not a necessity. But for those of you who want to do this right away, you can just do this.
Glitches with Bald Man Gerard Dez.
In order to perform this awesome glitch, you'll need to bait the heartbeat that's located in a particular part of the Temple with Pandora's Box. Once there, perform the square-square-triangle combo, and if done correctly, the enemy will refuse to die and will give you a continuous flow of red orbs as long as you don't approach it right away.
Orgasm!
Now, it may take a while to get this down, but a simple restarting of the checkpoint a few times, and you'll get it in no time. One of my big love-hate relationships for this game is the enemies. I love the fact that as you go deeper and deeper into the story, the enemies get more difficult. Enemies start out very easy and somewhat dumb, but when you get further into it, you'll find a very nasty combination of just 2 or 3 enemies that can ruin your night. This is where that frustration comes into play.
You? Getting frustrated? Nah.
Another gripe I had with this game was the lack of bosses. People will argue that certain areas feel like boss fights, and while I do agree that at times, there's actually only 2 to 4 boss fights in the whole game. It bummed me out just a little bit considering how this game starts out on such a high note. And maybe this is just the PlayStation 3 version, but I found there to be a few interesting bugs and glitches that seem to have worked against me. But then again, I did find one that was actually great to discover.
Glitches with Old Man Snitches. Did you remember the time that I sent the young whippersnapper down to fight Diablo? Why, I feel like it was just yesterday when he waltzed into Tristram thinking he could take on the world. Then Bale came up and we thought, well, we need to get Bale as well. And then once fighting Bale... Now surely this foe has been vanquished after he's it's Diablo! He's still alive! It's Diablo! Oh, no, he's dead. Just like me. On the inside.
So you've collected all the Gorgon Eyes and magic feathers, you've collected a bunch of red orbs, and you've maxed out all your magic spells and weapons.
Orgasm!
Let's give Ares a run for his money. Shortly after Kratos discovers Pandora's box, Ares realizes what Kratos has found and throws a stone pillar right into Kratos' stomach from Athens, killing him. And when Kratos then descends into the underworld, he's not willing to give up just yet. You battle your way through the underworld only to end up back in Athens outside of the Oracle's temple, which is now left in shambles. It's now go time. After opening Pandora's box, it then makes Kratos the size of Ares, kind of like a Megazord from Power Rangers, and now it's up to you to open a can of whoop-ass and slay the god of war!
You said can, it's a box.
What was that?
Then say box, it's not Pandora's can.
Greg, is something wrong? Is something bothering you?
I put the razor into Pandora's box, it ain't no can.
That was you the whole time?
Whoa.
You were actually the Mario statue? I didn't have to shave? Now I have a goatee? I could have had an awesome beard! But you know what, I actually like goatees too. But no! I want my beard back! It's weird, I'm cold, and I want my beard! You owe me a beard! Upon beating this game, several things become unlocked for you to pursue. For starters, now you have access to several behind-the-scenes videos that give you great insight as to what went on behind a lot of the thought process and development for God of War. You also have the ability to compete in the trials, which feature 10 gruesome challenges of defeating whatever is thrown at you. And boy, this is actually pretty difficult. Did I mention that you have to do this all in one sitting?
Yikes. Now there's something I didn't have patience for.
After beating the trials, you will then unlock several costumes that are actually really fun and interesting to play with. Kratos dressed as a cow, dressed as a businessman, even dressed as a chef. And now what they don't tell you is that each specific costume actually gives a benefit, so when you start the game over again, you may discover something other than just a new badass outfit. If you look harder at the treasures list, you will see there's 2 secret messages there. In order to gain access to these 2 messages, you need to perform 2 tasks. The first and more difficult of the 2 is, yeah, you guessed it, playing God of War on God mode. Costumes are disabled for this challenge, so you need to play through it as best as you can, and it will take quite a while. Doing this playthrough will also give you access to Ares' armor as well. The other and easier of the 2 is obtainable by destroying the Minotaur and Ares statues in front of Ares' throne. Doing these 2 tasks will give you 2 800 numbers. These 800 numbers are still active and you can call them right now. You get to listen to some special messages from Kratos himself, congratulating you on your awesome and glorious journey.
I have killed the Hydra myself, ripped the hair off Medusa's shoulders, even killed a god of Olympus, but I have never seen such skill and strength as yours. You have conquered God mode. The time and dedication you put into reaching this point is worthy of celebration and reward.
Fortunately for me, the struggle to complete this game, although very difficult, felt incredibly rewarding and well-deserved. Upon first playthrough, you get almost all the basic trophies in one run, just as long as you are aware that the trophy is there. It's very easy to stumble through this game and miss your chance. I'm actually pretty upset that completing the game on God mode was not a trophy, considering how difficult it was to do this. You'd think they would at least offer you a fake digital trophy, especially after dealing with the never-ending supply of Kratoses in that fight.
Okay there, completion boy.
You want to do it? You give it a shot! The most difficult trophy in this entire lineup has to be the 5-hour run, which honestly isn't that bad, especially since you can choose any setting you want and can wear any of the outfits. I beat this game in 3 hours and 35 minutes dressed as a cow, and I had unlimited magic.
I bet your udders were all uttered out. Orgasm!
Overall, God of War was an exceptional experience, and for those of you looking for a challenge, I highly recommend going for the trophies. God mode, not necessary. Let me put you guys at ease by saying that God of War definitely lives up to the hype, and then some. The fantastic simplistic combat, all of the great spells you get, the way you can level up Kratos to be super badass, and most of all, the trophies definitely make the extra effort you want to put into a PS3 HD upgraded remix kind of game. I can't wait to play God of War 2, 3, and the origin stories. With that in mind, guys, this game gets my completionist rating of completed. Dude, aren't these lights awesome?
Completed!
That's all the time we have for today, guys, so please, as always, leave your positive and negative comments in the boxes below. Don't forget to leave your suggestions for the future of the show, and face twit tamblegrams if you're into that whole social networking thing. Face, twit, tamblegram. 4 of them. Do it. If you want. No pressure. No pressure. Pressure. Now if you excuse me. Whoa! Who turned out the lights? Turn on the lights! Turn on the lights! Do you guys hear that? Necromorphs. Let's do this.